The seat is fantastic. It doesn't look like much in terms of, it's not like very shapely seat. It's like a very homemade desert racer kind of seat, but it is a comfortable seat. Today I was on the bike almost 4 hours, and the aches and pains barely started when I rolled back into the office, which is awesome. I have not ridden this good a seat on a Royal Enfield motorcycle in a long time. Last, I think, would be the Bullet and the Classic 350s.
All right.
So very good seat, and this is the stock seat. I don't think this is the touring seat. You don't need to worry about the seat at all.
Okay.
Riding position, it could have been brilliant. Both the foot pegs mess with you a little bit, but the handlebar is in a great
That's
position.
the usual Interceptor thingy, right?
No, they've done a few things here. Okay, so on the Bear, you've got off-road style pegs with rubber inserts.
Yeah.
So the gear lever compensates for that by coming out and taking a turn. But that turn is what I found myself using to shift, because I basically never reached for the toe shifter at all, because that was in the way of the boot. You know, so there's a kink like this, and instead of hitting this, I'm hitting the turn itself, and I'm turning on the, I don't actually need the toe shifter. So if I were to take a pair of tin snips and just cut the actual shifter off, I'd totally be making full gear changes on this bike without noticing. Similarly, on the other side, if you sit with the aggressive riding position that I do, with the balls of your feet on the peg and all the way up, no stress. But if you want to sit a little bit more flat, for some reason there is a air gap this big between the rear master cylinder, not master cylinder, the brake servo. So between the brake servo and the frame, there's that much of an air gap, and then there is a cap around it.
Yeah.
So this is where your heel would normally go. So your foot is always turned into the motorcycle like this if it's flat. So I rode most of the mileage today with my foot on top of the guard that sits around the brake servo. Not uncomfortable, but I don't know why it had to be done, given the fact that there is an air gap on the other side. Right? For some reason, they didn't tuck that thing in, and that's the issue.
Okay.
But if you forget,
I'm just going to break that down. If you didn't get it, if you sit like this, I mean, with your feet on the foot peg, the balls of your feet on the foot peg, there's something protruding outwards. So you end up keeping your heels on top of that. And if your feet are further down in a more flat position, then it's pushing your right foot out like this.
Your ankle has to stay out.
Yeah, so like that. So it's just strange.
Yeah. So it's a, but if you ignore the feet for a minute, the way you plug into the motorcycle, the way the seat feels, the way you're wide chested, I really, really like the riding position. And you've got the steel brace on the handlebar, which of course some of you will put like a brace pad on and stuff, whether you go off-roading or not. It works. It's got the tripper dash, as they call it, which is the TFT display that has come from the Himalayan. It has this standard LED headlight, which means I have not ridden this motorcycle in the night, but honestly, this headlight has not done anything on any of the motorcycles we've tested yet. So there'll be nothing to write home about on that front. They still have this weird switch gear. So I had to honk at everybody because I just could not get used to flashing them. Because to me, this is how I flash on the switches. This I'm not used to doing. And then I discovered that it has a dual tone horn, which is, I don't honk enough to remember whether the Interceptor, Himalayan, etc. have dual tone horns or not, but for whatever it's worth, the Bear certainly does. Okay. So if you ignore the suspension for a minute, I really enjoyed the feel of this motorcycle. It's a tall feeling motorcycle. It's a substantial feeling motorcycle, and it does have a commanding riding position because you're sitting a little bit higher. So you do see over the cars, you see the gaps in traffic better. It feels really good. And this is just such a beautiful engine because it's an effortless engine. It is smooth. It has a nice voice. And you can just do this in any gear and it just passes whatever you're looking at. There were empty stretches today on the testing route where I was sitting at 110 just to see, does it feel strained? No. Okay, 130? No. Slow it down to 60 in the same gear.
So despite the slight change of tune, the character as in the smoothness and all of it is
the only
same.
the only thing I think versus the Interceptor, this feels even lighter on its feet. So when you do this, it's just like, oh yeah, easy man, easy.
Oh, nice.
And because the handlebars are a little bit wider, steering's a little bit easier. The clutch feels a lot lighter than I remember the Interceptor being. So this is a very lightweight motorcycle to operate, although you'll never forget that it is a heavy motorcycle that you're on top of, right? It's a very weird thing to say, but you're aware intimately that this is a heavy thing, but you don't seem to put an effort to make the heavy thing do the stuff that you want to.
Hi, it's me, Karthik, the one who's generally laughing and just going along with Shumi's jokes. You can catch all the jokes on the main channel. That's where they're all there. Right now, this is a bit of the serious conversation, but you can catch all the fun factor on the full video, which is on the MotorInc channel. So head out there and subscribe. And if you want more of these shorter clips, do subscribe to this channel as well.